welcome to week 7. We are starting module 1, lesson 6 this week. We're going to be looking at women's suffrage. So I'll do a quick overview, walk you through the lesson. And then as always, please come on Wednesday between 4 and 5 to my Google Meet if you have any questions or need additional assistance on this week's assignments or anything that's past due that might still be open. Okay? Hope you're doing well. And just remember the quarter is going to be coming to an end soon. Okay, we got a couple weeks left. This is week 7. October 2nd, the grade book closes because grades are due then October 5th, 6th. All right. So a lot of you need to get some assignments in. So this week, there's definitely some larger summative assignments. So let's get started. Okay. So a great place to look each week is on the lesson instruction page or the live session instruction page is where you find your videos. Okay, so it tells you what's due for the week, module 1, lesson 1, task worksheet, and then you're going to use that task worksheet to write an essay. Okay, so the task worksheet's going to be really important. The better you do on the task worksheet, then it's going to make doing, when I say essay, 5-paragraph essay. Okay, 5 sentences for each paragraph, so it can be really basic, page and a half or so. You can basically use that task worksheet to do the essay, and we'll walk through that. There are a few things still open. Oops, those dates need to be completed here. Let me fix this really quick. That should say 9/8. Open till 9/22. Okay, so if you're behind, there's a couple things still open that you can do to bring up your grade, especially the summatives. Module 1, lesson 4, the LGBTQ plus worksheet assignment, that's summative. And then the module 1, lesson 5 is also going to be really helpful in bringing up your grade, getting that notebook done and that quiz that I went over last week. Again, also remember you can look in the announcements and then there's that weekly to do. And it's basically a summary of what you see on that module page. It's got what's due and then what's past due and then what's still open. Okay, so let's scroll down to module 1, lesson 6. Whoops, went a little too far there. Okay, we're going to start on the notebook page. So go ahead and open up the notebook, click make a copy, and then I'm going to go to next. So what you're going to do is as you go through the information, you are going to complete this task worksheet. Okay, so we'll kind of just do an overview of it. The better job that you do on this, it should make doing your essay actually pretty easy. Okay, or you can basically pull from this to do your essay, and that'll make sense when I get to the essay. Okay, so do a good job on this because it's going to make doing the essay, you're literally going to pull those resources and those same sources. Okay. So the question you're answering, okay, the question that you're answering is, was the vote enough? And the inquiry, we're leading you through an investigation of voting rights in America by investigating this compelling question, was the vote enough? You evaluate early, 20th century women's suffrage movement, in different places, different sources, and, and then kind of using present day, some sources. Was this enough? Okay, so ask yourself some questions. What are the primary sources saying? Supporters, opponents? Why did America oppose granting women the right to vote? And this wasn't just an American issue. This was global, okay? So slowly from the late 1800s to honestly mid-1900s, women slowly gaining the right to vote in a lot of different countries. So this was a global issue. We'll focus on it in the U.S., but by no means was this only a U.S. issue, okay? Were some rights not gained in the 19th Amendment? And then what was the Equal Rights Amendment? Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through each task, which is a source, okay, and you are going to then complete that corresponding part here in the worksheet. Okay, so you start on that introduction. Was the vote enough? And you're using that question to complete each task, but then also when you're thinking about the essay that you're going to be writing, okay, which is using kind of women's suffrage movement. Innocent question, was it enough? And using sources, yes or no, how did it help? How did it discourage? What were some of the different points? And then what's your final view? Okay, so task 1 says, read Bell's letter to his wife, write a paragraph explaining Bell's letter and his opinion on women and abolitionists that he sent to his wife while waiting for a train. Okay, so you open up the letter. Not supporting the movement, okay? It's stuff. So you're going to read the letter. I might need to open this in a different tab. Oh, here we go. It's pages. Okay. So you're going to read through the letter. Okay. And what does he say about this? And then you're going to go over into task 1, write a paragraph explaining Bell's letter, his opinion on the women's and abolitionists that he sent to his waffle waiting for a train. Okay, so does he support? Is he against? What are some of the reasons that he gives, for or against? Okay, it might also help to maybe put date in here. Let's see if we can find it. This is 1875. So this is pretty earlier on. This is, it wasn't passed until 1919. So 1919, 1920. So this is a little bit earlier on in the movement, 45 years or so before women actually gained the right to vote in the US. Okay, so Salem, Massachusetts, again, 45 years. So again, as time goes on, there's going to be more and more support. So interesting to kind of hear where's he at and what are his reasons for supporting or not supporting. So you can find that date, okay, and read that. And then create a paragraph answering that question. Okay, then we go to task 2. Write a paragraph explaining why women in Texas created their anti-suffrage organization and their reasons for it. Who were they hoping to persuade, and what was the focus of their organization? So again, you're going to look at things from both sides, supporting and against women's suffrage, okay? Read the article, Texas Association Opposed to Women's Suffrage. So that's going to be a group of women who did not see a reason for it, okay? And what were the reasons? Part of giving any good argument is being willing to look at both sides. Doesn't mean you have to agree by any means. But what was their perspective? And it can build your argument for was it enough, or maybe why it took so long, or what was some of the resistance, okay? So read the article, Texas Association Opposed, write a paragraph explaining why these women created this anti-suffrage, which means against, okay, and their reasons. So again, pull a couple of reasons. Who were they hoping to persuade? So what was the goal of this organization? Who were they hoping to persuade? So you click on the source. Skim through the pages. What are some of their reasons for opposing? And who are they directing this group at? Who are they hoping to gain more support from? And then answer that here. Okay, so you're going to basically do the same thing as you go through each source. Read the flyer, review the flyer from the National American Women's Suffrage Association and why they want an amendment in the Constitution. So this is just a flyer. So again, it's going to ask you write 2 sentences explaining what's on the flyer. So there we can tell that this flyer is going to be for the women's suffrage movement, meaning for the right to vote, okay? So what are they saying? An amendment of the federal constitution, which means a change of the constitution, because originally voting rights were only given to men, okay? So women were not included in this, all right? And it is a lot of work to get a change in the constitution. You need 3/4 votes ratified, so it's 2/3 votes ratified by the states. It's a lot, okay? The question of women's suffrage has been submitted to the vote in many states, and women have been distressed to find that thousands of the ignorant and vicious were lined up in hostile interest to vote against it. We ask the men of America to relieve women from this humiliating position and to give them the same opportunity men have of appealing to an intelligent and select tribunal, the men of Congress and the legislators of several states. Okay, so this one's really geared toward, like, women, talk to your men, talk to the men around you and say, you have to do this, because women couldn't vote, so they couldn't vote to amend the Constitution for them to vote, so they needed more and more support of men. All right, so a couple of sentences summarizing what this is about from the flyer. So you're going to continue to do this for each one, okay? Task 4, task 5, and then you have some videos, okay? So for task 6, and again, each one will have, telling you what does the 19th Amendment say. So you'll read the actual amendment. Task 6, write 1 paragraph explaining what you learned from the video. Okay, so summarizing kind of what you learned. Okay, and it's about a 6-minute video, so it's going to give you some of the history. Task 7, what is the Equal Rights Amendment? Watch this video on Equal Rights Amendment, and why is it current now? Okay, so what is this amendment talking about, and then how does it relate to today? And same thing, you're going to write 1 paragraph summarizing it and why it's important to today. All right. And then there's a second video that goes into more specific details looking at Virginia. Okay. And this year. So that one's about 5 minutes. This one's only a minute. All right. So you watch the 2 then for part 7. So take your time, make sure that you're doing a good job, looking at the source, answering the question. Okay. Because then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the next page. And this is then where you submit the task sheet, okay? Now you're going to use the argument essay template, okay, to answer the question, was the vote enough? And use this task worksheet to help you with that, okay? So you're going to click on the link there. You're going to submit your task worksheet, but also keep it open while you are then going to create your argument essay. So what is the topic? What is the question? Okay. And that was the vote enough? Okay. So you can put that in here. What's your claim? So yes, it was because of the 19th Amendment or the, the amendments for the Equal Rights Amendment. Okay. Or no, it wasn't. The 19th Amendment wasn't enough. The Equal Rights Amendment wasn't enough. So you make a claim. Yes, it was enough because, or no, it wasn't enough because. So you make a claim of yes or no, right, on the question, and then because, and give a couple reasons. And then you're going to give evidence, okay? So pick one of the sources, pick a document, pick a video, pick something from your task sheet, summarize how it showed, help toward the movement or blocking the movement, okay? Same thing then with number 2, help toward the movement or blocking the movement. And why does this evidence support your yes or no? So you give your evidence and this helps support yes, it was enough or no, it wasn't enough. And it could be verbiage from the amendment itself, okay? Or one of the primary sources. Same thing, you choose evidence number 2 to support, okay? Yes, this, summarize the evidence, and then yes, it was enough to help toward the right to vote, or no, it wasn't, and here's why, okay? So you back it up. And then finally, an alternate perspective, okay? So let's say you said, yes, it was enough, okay? Then what's an alternate view? Some people don't feel it's been enough, and what is that view? Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but what is that view? Or if you said, no, it's not enough, okay? If your claim was no, it's not enough in evidence 1 and 2 and in your thesis, then your alternate perspective might be, but some people feel it is because technically women, right? Once we turn a certain age, if you're a citizen, you can go vote, same criteria as men. Or no, it isn't. And here's why: it took too long, or there aren't enough laws or bills geared towards us. I don't know. What reasons do you feel it is or it isn't enough? Okay, from the alternate perspective. And then you'll submit this, okay? Now, I don't want this actual template. You use this template, but I want this in paragraph format, okay? So you use this to kind of guide you, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, okay? But doing it in your own document, all right? Because you are juniors. This is an honors class. You'll submit your task sheet here. And then once you've taken that information from the task sheet into your essay, then you will submit the essay here. And this is a summative assignment, okay? So this is worth 36 points. I think the quizzes are usually worth 10 to 15. So this is really, really helpful. And again, looking at the rubrics is super helpful. So having a topic sentence. So what is the question about? Being really clear, okay? Have your thesis there. So yes, it is. No, it isn't, because, and making that claim, okay? So I want a good first intro paragraph, okay? So 8 points for that. Evidence number 1, and then giving reasoning. So evidence that supports the, so it can be from articles, websites, video, it can be any of the things from your task sheet. You can look up something else if you want, but it also would seem really, smart to use some of the evidence used from your task sheet, okay, from that 1 through 7, quite a few different sources you can use. So summarize the evidence, cite your source, and then reasons why, okay? Why, yes, it is enough, or no, it isn't, okay? And then same thing, second piece of evidence, summarize it, describe it, reasons why, back it up, okay? And then alternate perspective, finding something that goes against maybe what you were saying. So identify an alternate view, demonstrate an understanding of it, summarize it, okay? And then refute or rebut it, okay? However, this perspective is incorrect because, so if you claimed that, yes, the vote is enough, and you found an alternate perspective that said no, summarize that, do it justice, and then explain, again, tying it to your reasoning why you don't agree. or vice versa, right? No, it's not enough. Evidence 1, reasoning, evidence 2, reasoning that supports that. Then your alternate perspective would be, yes, it is enough. But then you, again, are summarizing what you kind of said in 1 and 2, why you disagree and you think this perspective is wrong. Okay, so for 36 points. So that's for the week. Okay, like I said, module 1, lesson 4, that closes on this week. I believe that was the LGBTQ plus movement. Okay, so that task sheet and stuff. So making sure that you're getting that in, that's a summative assignment right there. And then last week's path to citizenship, that is open for another week. So making sure you're getting those in. We are getting close to the end of the quarter. So it's really important you get these things in now. Once they close because I already doubled the timeline, right? NBLA policy is 1 week and I give you the 2. So that way when it's closed, it's already been extended. Okay. If you have any questions, please come and see me on Wednesday from 4 to 5. All right. I'm available. Any questions you have, we can go over something. You're having a hard time. Essay, doesn't matter. I'm happy to help you. Okay. As always, you can message me. Thank you so much. Okay. Have a great week.